here to introduce Module 1, Prolegomena, which is the introduction to systematic theology. In this case, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently from an ordinary systematic theology course. What we do is called Elenctic Theology. The word elenctic comes from the Greek word to refute, and it's really based on a genre of theology based on Titus 1:9, which tells us that we should be able to exhort in sound doctrine and refute those who contradict. So in this first module, what we're going to do is look at all the how-to of doing theology. So you're going to learn why we do theology. You're going to learn the categories for doing theology. You're going to learn a lot of the terminology. And the reason for this is because once we get to the details, what you're going to have in front of you to make it more understandable, hopefully, is a really big roadmap that'll help make each detail far more understandable because you know where we're going with each piece of data. So anyway, that's where we're going with module number 1. After that, we'll be looking at, what are the logical order of categories in systematic theology, which will be then after we've established, for example, how to do theology and what it is. Then we'll move to what the source of theology is, which we have for a different course, our Scripture, Authority, Canon, and Criticism course. We look at bibliology, or the doctrine of the Bible. And because we need to understand what the source of theology is. Where do we get our facts to build a theological system? Then we look at the primary category of theology, which is God. Who is God is the most important question that we can ask and answer. Then we ask the question, what does God do? Okay, we look at the works of God, and generally speaking. And there we'll look at the doctrine of the divine decree. We'll look at creation. We'll look at providence. And then we'll look at specific works of God. We'll look at the creation of angels, the fall of angels with demons. We'll look at the creation and nature of human beings. Who are we? What we're made to do. Then we'll look at the fact that human beings are fallen and the consequences for sin. Now, see, in that logical order, once you're left with human beings in the image of God and the consequences of sin, then we have to look at, well, what does it take to save these people from their sins? See, that moves us to ontological Christology, where we look at the question of who is qualified to accomplish the work to save us from our sins. So we establish the full deity, the full humanity, and what we call the hypostatic union of the two natures of Christ. Then we move on to say, okay, we have a person who's qualified to save us. What does he actually do to save us? So then we look at the doctrine of the atonement or the work of Christ. And then once we understand what it means for Christ to accomplish his work, then we look at how does it get applied to us? Because not everybody is saved. So it's important that we move from truly the glorious understanding that God loved us enough to do the work to save us, even though we don't deserve it. But then we need to move to how do we get justified? How do we get adopted? How do we get regenerated? How do we get delivered from the domain of darkness and transferred to the kingdom of the Son of God? And then once we have that, then we've got a bunch of people who are saved. What do we call it? The church. Well, what's the church supposed to do? See, now we look at ecclesiology, the doctrine of the church. What are the marks of a true church? And again, the methods, the how-to. And then after that, the last category is last things. Heaven, hell, the second coming, the ushering in of the kingdom of God, final states, and things like that. So there is a logical order to doing theology. Prolegomena is important because we establish methodology, we establish an understanding of what theology is and the task. And if we get this wrong, then we're going to get all the other stuff wrong. So it's important that we define the task and give criteria to do it well before we begin. So that is what we're going to do for Modular 1, is establish how to do theology and what it is. Thank you.